Welcome anyone to Don Stacy's YouTube channel. My politics are progressive. I'm a democratic socialist. And the big news, of course, is that the Russian army, guided, directed by Vladimir Putin, has invaded Ukraine. It's not just an incursion, it's an invasion. And what seems outrageously peculiar to me is the monolithic Republican response to what's going on right now. They valorize Vladimir Putin. They look at him as someone to be admired because he has such strong control over the Russian population and now the Ukrainian population. They admire him because their fearless leader Donald J. Trump admires Putin. And I have to say, when Mike Pompeo, former Secretary of State, alumni of West Point, a man who studied warfare thoroughly, of course, as they all do at West Point and Annapolis and the Marine Academy, if there is one. Oh, and by the way, I'm also a pacifist, but I'll take up arms of a sort if I'm attacked. You bet I will. And I'll fight tooth and nail to retain and protect my property and my family, just like anybody else would. But this Republican response to the immediate threat to Europe, they don't even talk about Europe. They talk as though there are only two countries in the world, the United States and Russia. Well, they seem to forget China conveniently in this discussion now, don't they? These Republicans are so filled with these facile ideas that they project out via Fox, I call it fuck news, to the country. And all the yokels and all the nincompoops and all the imbeciles and all the hard and fast and true Republicans suck up Fox News, so-called, as though it were gospel. And this, I tell you, this is insidious, and it is destructive. And it's all thanks to DJT now, isn't it? That miserable cunt. How sensible, educated people, conservative-minded, can get behind and remain behind this charlatan, this criminal charlatan, Trump. I cannot fathom. I really can't. And these extreme measures that some of these Republican governors are pulling in their states, especially Abbott of Texas and DeSantis of Florida. These statewide laws that forbid any city or any school to I suppose the word is imposed, to impose a mask-wearing mandate upon everyone for the sake of the public good, for the sake of the public health. Now let me remind you that when polio came into being back in the, I don't know, late 30s, I guess, early 40s, polio, which afflicted Franklin Delano Roosevelt and millions of other people, killed many, crippled many more. Just as in war, this disease was insidious, and it remains so, just like tuberculosis, just like measles. And these people who turn their backs on proven, scientifically, numerically, statistically proven effective medicines that prevent these horrible diseases, they just walk away from it. They not only walk away from it, they vilify it as something harmful, as something to be avoided at all costs, even their own lives. And how many of those people, unvaccinated, who wound up in hospitals and they had to suffer an intubation, how many of those people who said, I wish I had taken the vaccine? But by that time it was far, far too late. And they suffered an intubation, and they lingered there, and then they died. Hundreds of thousands have died. And in essence, it was their own choice. It was, in my view, essentially an act of suicide. And these Republicans, they flounce reason with a capital R, and they flounce truth with a capital T, and they're the antithesis of anything decent. These policies and ideas that they froth with. It's sickening. It's absolutely sickening. Makes my blood boil. God. I don't know. To me, the Republican thrust, you might call it, is repellent. Repellent. Instead of standing behind the sitting president